Hey, is this thing on? I look good, right? I look good? Hair's cool? Cool, all right. We ready? Here we go. Hey guys, we're here at... Wait a minute. Where are we again? Do you know where we are? Do you know where we are? Hello? Anybody in there? Great. Man, it's hot out here. Let me check the script real quick. Solar power. Cool. Ah, great. I think I left my phone.
Where do all these go?
Zoe, I told you to stop playing with that old equipment. It's not safe.
Is it dangerous?
Well, that depends.
I'm sorry, it's all just so weird. I mean, what is all this stuff?
Never mind about that stuff. I need you to help me to prepare for today's experiment. What did you do?
I don't know. What's going on?
Oh, you must have triggered the obsolete reactor safety protocols.
Let's get out of here.
Don't bother. It only opens from the outside. I'll just call JD.
But isn't that JD's phone on the table? Hey, look, the screen still has power.
Oh, I keep the computer system on an uninterruptible power supply. It runs for a little while during a blackout.
Oh my God, look. JD, help, we're stuck in here.
He can't hear you. It's only one way.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is JD. I'm here with the CEO of McCalman Engineering, Mr. Tom McCalman. Hello, Tom.
Hey, JD. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. So, can you tell us a little bit about what McCalman Engineering does?
We design solar power plants. You've seen big coal-fired, gas-fired power plants. You've seen pictures of them, at least. Those require fuel. We take our power from the sun, and we design big fields of panels that harvest that energy and turn it into power for the grid.
Very cool. Now, I heard you guys partnered with Republic Solar, and you're working with them on a cloverleaf project. What does cloverleaf have to do with solar power?
Yeah, these are not the cloverleafs you're kind of used to thinking of, which are the little plants in your backyard. These are the cloverleafs that we have on highways, the little loop-de-loops where the cars get on and off the highway.
Okay.
Like if you looked at that from an airplane or up in space, it would look like a cloverleaf. That land is basically not usable because the cars have to constantly get on and off the highways. So if we can put solar plants or solar panels in that land and harvest that energy and deliver it into the neighborhood, we get double uses out of the same land. It's a great use for all the cloverleafs all over America.
What are some of the things that McCalman Engineering are doing to make that idea a reality?
We figure out how to optimally capture the available sun on that site. So what kind of technology to use? Are they traditional flat plates? Are they going to track with the sun? Maybe they're going to follow the sun. We also look at shading issues because shade affects how much power we get. So if there's a tree nearby or a pole, we try to move the plant to minimize the impact of that shade. And finally, we do the electrical part of that design that delivers that electricity into the neighborhood.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's really fun.
So behind me, it looks like you have an electric car.
I do. I have an electric vehicle. I just got it about 8 months ago. I'm really excited. It's so much fun to drive. And what's really great is I have solar on my roof, so I can charge my car for free. I get free electrons and I drive on solar power.
Sounds like solar power has a pretty bright future. right? Get it? Okay, anyway. If any of our viewers are interested in working in the solar industry when they graduate, is there anything they could do now to learn about solar power?
There's lots of cool experiments they can do, maybe through their science classes at school. There's different things you can do with solar panels to power things. You can do solar cookers where you're using the heat energy of the sun to cook and actually have a meal.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Great to meet you, JD. Thank you.
Great to meet you, too.
Well, that's very fascinating, but does anyone else care that we're going to die in here? What kind of safety protocol traps us inside?
Don't worry, the lab runs on solar power. It has for years.
Well, then don't you have some sort of backup power, like a battery or generator?
Right. Right, the backup.
The backup? Ugh, the
Hi,
door.
Zoe. I'm Michael Van Avery.
Hi.
What's the matter?
Well, we're kind of trapped in here. The door locked from the outside.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. I'm here for a while. Let's talk about solar energy.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're here. So JD just showed me some really cool information about solar energy, and he said sunlight can be harvested. But what did he mean by that?
Solar power is harvested quite simply by sun shining on solar panels. The panels produce energy. The energy is produced into the neighborhoods. It's a tried and true technology.
But then what happens after the sun goes down? Because obviously, you know, that's where you're getting the energy from.
Well, just like a light switch, solar energy turns off at night. However, that's when we work hard to clean the panels, take care of them, so when the sun comes back on, it operates at the most efficiency.
But then how do you get that energy from the solar farm to the lab, for instance?
Well, solar energy is produced, again, with the sun heating up the solar panel.
Yeah.
The solar panel then produces neutrons, which are transmitted across right into a PG&E substation, and then that substation transmits it out to the customer.
Oh, so then why'd you put the solar farm by the highway?
Solar highways was an idea where we wanted to use underutilized property owned by the state to not just produce energy, but produce a revenue for the state, which is a goal of Governor Brown and his plan to create 12,000 megawatts of energy.
It's a really smart idea and a great way to use all that empty space. So how'd the project get started?
The project got started like any great Silicon Valley idea. It was born out of the recession, and it was born with the idea that let's create a long-term solution for the state's budget, but more importantly, let's figure out a way to create renewable energy and lessen our dependence on foreign oil.
Yeah, makes sense. So why is it important to have a local power source?
It's important to have a local power source because here in California, we do have natural disasters, similar to what happened in Japan, where the Fukushima nuclear power plant went down.
Yeah, that was
When
bad.
that power plant went down, power was cut off to Tokyo, which is a large urban area. So by producing local distributed energy within urban areas, we can have an uninterrupted power source and possibly take care of situations like today where there won't be any blackouts in the future.
And that's because you don't have to transport it.
That's because we can have it right next to where we live and work, and it's clean
Yeah.
and it's safe.
Never really thought about it like that, but it definitely makes sense, and it's a really good thing the Modern Advancements Department has, is equipped with solar power. So, speaking of power, I wonder if the professor found the backup power supply.
Yeah, he owes me some money. Where is he?
Stop. Whether it's on the way to school, at school, or online, bullying has become a non-stop threat to our youth today. Is your child being bullied? The National Runaway Switchboard can help. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
Donate to Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco and let your change become the change a family needs. Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco. Building homes and hope in Marin, San Francisco, and the Peninsula.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
Nice. Yes, go! Yes! No! Come on! Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Any luck? Did you find it?
Find it? Find what?
The backup.
Oh, that, no, not yet. What'd you find?
So we know that the sunlight has energy, and solar power has to be stored at night. So the lab usually runs on solar power, which means there must be a backup somewhere. So maybe if we find the battery, then we can get the lab running again.
All right, that's a pretty good hypothesis. I guess that's better than my plan.
And what was your plan?
I was gonna go take a nap.
Give me that flashlight. I'm going to... Where's the battery?
I don't know. I haven't had to mess around with it in forever.
Yeah, and your lab is a mess. It's not safe. I'm going to look around.
You know, solar energy was invented 3 billion years ago. Plants have been using it to create food and energy since long before humankind came along. We're just beginning to grasp these concepts, and now we can use them to provide electricity for all of the gadgets that make up our modern world.
Professor, I think I found something. What is it? It's blinking and it has a clock on it.
Huh.
It's set to supply power at night.
Looks like it reset it to noon.
So maybe if we set it, it'll give us some power? It works.
Huh.
Kind of.
Well, it could be some blown fuses or a bad power coupling or maybe just some fried circuits. I'll go check it out. Solar power is a better way to get electricity. See, coal power plants release lots of carbon dioxide and stuff into the atmosphere. It's very dirty. And nuclear power, well, that leaves behind nuclear waste that lasts a long, long time. And if there's an accident, it can melt down and cause just unbelievable damage to the environment. But solar power doesn't have any of these problems. You see, when sunlight hits a solar panel, photons excite the atoms in the panel itself, and these atoms release electrons that all move together to create an electrical current. See, with enough of these panels, we'd be able to power the whole world. But what do you do when it gets dark? Storing energy in batteries makes it possible to use solar power on cloudy days or even in the middle of the night.
Hey guys, did you know how powerful sunlight could be? I mean, check out this black bag. As it sits in the sun, the air inside the bag slowly heats up, and the hot air is less dense than cold air. So eventually, this bag should float. When the sun hits the bag, the photons get absorbed by the plastic. Then energy is released as infrared radiation. Usually, you call that heat. When the air is heated up, it expands and fills up the bag. It's less dense this way. That's why it floats in the air. And that's why hot air balloons float in the air too. Pretty cool, right? It's working! Hey guys, I'm really hungry. It's been a while since breakfast, so I bought myself a solar oven to show you guys how a little sun can make a great snack. And now, we wait. All right, let's see how my solar oven's doing. Ah! Whew. It's a little hot. Yeah, my cake's done. This is JD signing off. I should be back soon.
The door is still stuck and we don't have the power back up. Meanwhile, JD's out there enjoying the sunshine and eating cake.
Lucky devil.
I'm hungry. You mind answering me some questions while I wait?
I'd love to talk more about solar energy. Of course, Zoe.
So how did the project get started?
You know, the project got started and was born from a terrible recession. And it got started just like any great innovative idea in Silicon Valley. Maybe it wasn't like Steve Jobs, but we decided that these were underutilized areas within freeways.
Definitely.
Where the state could earn some money. And so we just used our little connections that we had and we started working hard, and we're starting to make some progress now.
So how long would a project like this take to complete?
It only takes about 6 months to build. Wow. The hard part is getting the power purchase agreement from the investor-owned utility, which is like a PG&E or Southern Cal Edison. So overall, we think the project will probably take about 5 years, and we're currently in year 3.
Nice. So what does your public solar plan on doing with the energy once it's harvested?
Well, think of like a milk farmer.
Okay.
The milk farmer gets the milk from the cow, and then he goes to market, and he sells that to a supermarket, who then turns around and sells that for a profit to the consumer. That's called wholesale production. So we would be a wholesale producer of energy. We'd produce the energy, we'd sell it to Pacific Gas and Electric or someone like that, and then they would make a profit from that energy.
Cool. So what inspired you to pursue a career in this field?
I think what inspired me more than anything was my involvement with local government. And local government could be your school district, it could be your city council, it could be your county board of supervisors. And at a young age, I was exposed to that, not much older than you, where I was out working for a former city council person. And she taught me a lot about civic involvement and getting involved. And that's really what real estate and solar energy development's about. It's about getting involved with the neighborhoods and creating things that are for the benefit of mankind.
Cool. So where'd you go to high school?
I went locally, Zoe.
Really?
In Gunderson. I'm a Gunderson Grizzly, class of 1987. I'm very proud of that, to be local and still living here.
Nice.
I went to Fresno State later on, and I studied public relations of all things.
My mom studied that.
Well, she's a smart lady.
You know, that's actually right down the street from the Modern Advancements Department. And is that why you decided to work here in Silicon Valley?
You know, I've loved Silicon Valley. It allows things like this to happen, and it's a great, and there's 300 days of sunshine.
I did not know that, but that is a very interesting fact.
Very interesting fact.
So I never really thought about it like that, but it brings up a million questions. And how can I find more about this project?
You know, the best place, since you're a young go-getter, is to go on Facebook first.
Oh, really?
We have a Facebook page called Republic Solar Highways. Or if you're more traditional and you want to look at the web, we're at www.cloverleafsolarhighways.com. Okay. And you could also find us on YouTube.
Great. I will be sure to check that out.
Is that him?
I don't know what he's doing. I better go check on him.
Stop. Whether it's on the way to school, at school, or online, bullying has become a non-stop threat to our youth today. Is your child being bullied? The National Runaway Switchboard can help. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
What are we gonna do now? We can't even turn on the stove or the microwave, and it's lunchtime, and I'm starving.
Patience, kiddo. We've got to get cooking.
What? How? We don't have any gas or electricity or anything.
We don't need any of that stuff. We have the sun.
But we're indoors.
The skylight?
But how? That's nothing.
The sun hits the Earth with as much energy in 1 hour as the entire planet uses in a year. If we had a way of focusing that energy, we could do all kinds of neat stuff like cook food or sterilize water.
How does that work?
Well, it's a shape called a parabola. And the parabola is a very special shape in that it allows you to focus all of the energy collected by the shape into a single spot.
So you mean it focuses it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can make a parabolic cooker out of anything?
Well, not just anything. It has to be able to resist the heat buildup, and it has to be reflective enough to collect the energy and, you know, focus it in that sweet spot where we can make the cooking happen. Usually the design is using a black box or a black cooking dish, but you can also wrap it with clear wrap to increase the heat. Now I'm just going to use this simple skewer and do up some hot dogs. It's not exactly fancy cooking, but
I like hot dogs, okay? I get them at the Giants games all the time.
Hey, go Giants!
This is amazing. Cooking with the sun, indoors.
Well, for simple technology like this, we can do simple things like cook a hot dog, but soon solar power can be used for everything all the time. And luckily we have innovative companies like Republic Solar Highways pushing the boundaries of solar energy. Now shall we eat? All right, Zoe, when JD returns and lets us out, that will conclude your time with us here. It's been fun, though.
Why?
Well, the accident you caused cost us an entire day of work stuck here in the lab. An entire day of work wasted.
But that's not fair. I'll never learn anything without making at least a few mistakes. Please, can I come back? I promise I'll be more careful. Please, please.
Let me guess. If I say no, you're just coming back next week anyway, right?
Definitely, yes, yes.
Okay, fine. You win. Now, I'm going to go take a nap.
You want some cake?
No, I'll see you tomorrow.
So, what did we learn today? Solar power is a great way to generate electricity without causing pollution. That reminds me of a little rap I wrote. Yeah. Mad science. Let's go. Yeah. Here's another rapper by yours truly, JD. Solar power is a great way to get electricity. When the solar panels hit with a little sunlight, then the photons in the panel help the atoms excite. You might ask, how you get energy with no light? We store energy in batteries so we could use them at night, and you could use them when it's cloudy, when the sun's out of sight. You should get solar power because you know that it's tight. If you want to learn more, look us up online or send us an email at madsciencesanjose@gmail.com. And you'll never guess where I'm going next week. Or maybe you can. Here's a little hint. They make all types of electronics run. Any guesses? Anyway, peace. About to eat this cake now.